Sanbonani Dumelang Afsheni, hello. This is Ngateko, as you guys know on my whole entire YouTube channel. Hi everybody. I'm basically here to tell you guys about my Epik journey, really, because I got a job in South Korea. So I will be moving to South Korea, essentially. That's what the video is about, to inform you guys that firstly I'm moving, and about my Epik timeline, because I know there's a few people that want to apply to Epik and they know about the Epik timelines and they're just wondering how long it took for me to actually get that job, as well as the requirements for you to get into Epik. So really, without further ado, so moving right along swiftly, I firstly chose Epik because I'm going to a different country, you know, so it's easier if I go in with a program. Epik, by the way, stands for English Program in Korea. Literally, it's an acronym. So I decided to go on that because I need something structured, and over and above applying to Epik, I went in with a recruiter because I needed someone to take me through the steps, and they are long. And it really helps to have like an agent, because then you ask someone and you find out all these things, you know. If it's your first time, really, it's best to just go with the recruiter. And if you want to go teach in Korea, best to go with Epik. You can try many different other ways, but I chose Epik. So we're going to really get into the Epik requirements. They're basically straightforward. Firstly, you should be a citizen of these 7 countries. That would be South Africa, USA, Canada, the Republic of Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. So secondly, you should have a 3 to 4 year bachelor's degree in any field. If it's in education, much better chances of you getting in. You don't even need the next requirement that I'm going to go into, which is the TEFL or CELTA qualified. These certificates essentially allow you to teach English as a foreign language. You should not have a criminal record. So if you've ever been to jail, unfortunately, it's either going to be very difficult for you to get in, or you'll just be overlooked from getting in. You should be in very good physical and mental health. You will be actually required to go through a medical checkup. After that, you should be under the age of 62. This doesn't stop a few people. See, some people are like 65 and teaching. So if you are physically healthy, mentally, healthy, you can still apply for this. You should have a good command of the English language. This is actually very important because I know a few people didn't even make it to like the round after the interview. The reason for that is they would have like a heavy either African, another Spanish or whatever accent, so the teaching of the English things, they weren't going to happen properly. I don't know. You should have the ability to adapt to the Korean life and really just living in Korea. You should also be available for a whole year, because the Epik contracts go on for a full year. So you can't just be like, yeah, I'll go for 6 months and then be like, oh yeah, I'm done. So there's a whole thing about tattoos and piercings. They are actually more lenient now, but they will inform you that if you have like major tattoos, if you have like a huge neck tattoo, they won't allow you to teach, because Korea still believes, rather, that's the best word, still believes that tattoos are a taboo. With regards to piercings, if you have any other piercings except your normal earlobe piercings, like I know I have the cartilage piercing over here, you should declare that you've got it. This is all filled out in your application form, really. And if you have anything else in your body that you've pierced, you should declare it, and they'll just sometimes when you have, like when you go to school, they'll ask you to remove your piercings and just keep your normal standard earlobe piercing. So that is basically the biggest and most important eligibility criteria. You can find this information on the Epik website, or you can check out most of the agencies. That would be Hans Korea, Corvia, and Korean Horizons. Those have the eligibility criteria. Without further ado, we're going to move into my personal Epik timeline. Disclaimer disclaimer over here. This is specific to me. Some people's timelines may have aligned with mine, but it's literally with this new process that they've started where you apply on the website. No one knows how the timelines go. It just happens, and it's literally by stroke of luck, and there's a lot of waiting. It's insane. Anyway, let's move on. So I had planned on joining, or really applying to the Epik program in March 2019. I approached a recruiter whom I will not name because I'm currently not working with them, about it, and they informed me that I'm going to need 2 letters of recommendation. I'm going to need 2 letters from my primary school and my high school to confirm that I was taught in English. These are for South African candidates, and I think also for Canadian candidates who are in the Quebec state, right? The actual application form. And so here is my timeline. Applications for the 2020 intake, or rather for spring intake, Epik spring intake, start the year before in August, right? So I went with Hans Korea, firstly, my recruiter. My recruiter informed me that I should get my police clearance, well, in August, after the 1st of August. The reason for this is it expires in 6 months, and it would be much better if you were in Korea with an eligible police clearance, right? So on the 6th of August, I went to go get my fingerprints done at the police station for my police clearance. On the 16th of August, I then got my first SMS from the police department that they are processing my fingerprints and checking if I'm a criminal. Then, while I was doing this, right, I was filling out my application form. They have a new process now where you fill it out online, and then there's a drop down menu where you pick which recruiter you're currently working with rather. It takes quite long actually, this new process, but the form is the same as prior forms that they've used in previous years. So I submitted my application form on the 26th of August. It went to my recruiter, who then looked through it, and we went back and forth making the relevant changes. That's why I went with the recruiter, because if you submit it directly, no one comes back and says, yo, please add more of this, please add more of that, or change this and that, right? Recruiters, they take you through the whole process. On the 2nd of September, I got a request for a mock interview with my agency. Another pro for having an agency, for working with an agency, you get a mock interview. I had no idea what I would expect for the interview, the actual Epik interview. So it was amazing that I got a mock interview. We set up the mock interview for the 6th of September. That was fine, sorted it out, went through everything, and then they sent me all the details and everything that I had to work on for my Epik, my actual Epik interview. Thereafter, on the 10th of September, remember that police clearance I was doing earlier on, I got notification that it has been finalized. If you're obviously, like, I'm South African, so in South Africa, after they send you an SMS that your application has been finalized, you want to wait about 2 to 3 days for it to get to your police station where you did your fingerprints, where you can then pick it up. And then on the 8th of October, I then received an Epik interview request. I was quite excited. that request was set up that my interview was going to be on the 17th of October. It was a good interview. I will have another video that goes in depth of what was asked for my interview and how I answered it and all that jazz. Thereafter, on the 18th of October, I found out that I got into the Epik program. Yay! Now the real waiting game actually happened, because then firstly I had to send in all the documents I needed, or the documents that I had. So that would be my letters of recommendation, 2 letters of recommendation, both of my letters of English teaching, excuse me, my 2 copies of my sealed transcripts. I had to send my full application form signed, and as well as my TEFL in-class qualification, because I actually did an in-class 20 hours, right? I sent it through DHL, which cost me 610 rands. My documents got there in 3 days, and then they told me that my letters of recommendation had to be hand signed and not just copies. So I had to spend another 610 rand to send the hand signed letters of recommendation. Anyway, documents got to Korea, amazing, and they went through my documents, they were happy with them, they sent them off to the Epik offices, and I waited and waited. I was hoping to hear back by like at least the end of November, you know, so then I can put in like my resignation for my other job. But I waited until the 23rd of December. Guys, that's when I was emailed that my documents and my application has been recommended. Just recommended. As in, Epik is like, thank you very much, your documents, amazing, perfect. Now we're going to send them off to the POE or MOE. That would be the Province of Education or Metropolitan Office. There we go. Metropolitan Office of Education or Provincial Office of Education. I was happy I got something back, okay, but like I've been waiting. And then on the 8th of January, after Christmas, after New Year, after everything, after I asked my recruiter what was happening, on the 8th of January, he informed me that 8th of January 2020. Then he informed me that I have received my placement and I was placed in the Changnam state. Changnam-do in South Korea. So that was amazing. I was excited. But that means that I was still like at work. I had to be at work in January, when I told everyone that I won't be working in January. But anyway, guys, that was my timeline. That is how it went down with Epik. If it wasn't for all the groups that I was in, like in Kakao Talk and WhatsApp, I probably would be off my marbles now. And if I've ever told anyone that I'm a patient person prior to this process, I lied to you, and I'm very sorry, because only now do I know that I'm actually a patient person. I've lived and I've stood the test of time. So guys, if you guys have any questions, I don't know, suggestions, comments, anything, you can put it down on the comments section below, and I don't have that many subscribers, so I'll definitely respond to you. I'll definitely respond to your comments and everything. And yeah, hope to see you next time on my next video. I mean, well, hope you see me next time. I'm ending this off. Let's close it.